All right. Hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today, what we're going to be talking about is a new ticker symbol from YieldMax, which is CRSH, the YieldMax Short Tesla Option Income Strategy ETF. It seems at this point, YieldMax themselves are just making up income strategy ETFs because they're coming out with a new line of short option income strategy ETFs to basically play to the downside of underlying stocks like Tesla, which is CRSH's wheelhouse. So what we're going to talk about today is what is CRSH. We're going to go over the prospectus. I want to tell you a little bit about the fund. I want to tell you about what they do and how they plan to kind of make money from Tesla going on the short side. I'm going to be comparing that to the prospectus of TSLY and show you how they're actually very similar. The only real difference is that CRSH goes to the downside on Tesla, whereas YieldMax, TSLY, as you guys know, goes to the upside of Tesla. I want to talk a little bit about what exactly the options contracts are because I am not no options contract professional. This is why I invest in YieldMax and not why I create my own options contracts, because I'm not necessarily certain how to do that. But what I do know is what is going to be beneficial for CRSH and what is going to be beneficial for TSLY and what we need to see from Tesla for CRSH to be profitable in the future. Also, I want to talk about a strategy similar to BITO and BITI, what we talked about on this channel before, and how this could potentially be a Tesla option income strategy with these two YieldMax funds. So if that does sound good, we're up to 4,628 subscribers. Look at how many subscribers we have. I haven't posted in 8 days, guys. My apologies. I did go on vacation, if you guys weren't aware, so I haven't posted for a very long time. But I dedicate this video to PSPS60 because she said, please make a video on CRSH ETF from YieldMax, and of course I'll do that. Any kind of new YieldMax ETFs or any kind of videos that you guys want to see, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. I did reply, it doesn't say it there, but we're getting into it with CRSH. So going to the prospectus here, what is CRSH? It is of course the short Tesla option income strategy ETF from YieldMax, the first of potentially many short income strategy ETFs, because when I just scroll up here, you could see that Tesla has plans for Nvidia, for Coin, and for Apple, which is going to be interesting because especially for Apple is a stock that generally appreciates, so I'm not sure why they want to go short. But anyways, we're talking about the Tesla option income strategy ETF today. And I'm sure you guys, if you guys own TSLY and you watch Tesla, you're obviously aware of the huge swings to the downside that Tesla brings. Tesla has huge swings to the downside and huge swings to the upside. And depending, I guess, on how you want to play it, you could use TSLY, which I'm not sure why it's not shown here, but you could use TSLY or you could use CRSH to that advantage, the massive up and down swings, because they're going to bring a lot of income in terms of a cover call strategy ETF for TSLY and CRSH. Now, talking about CRSH, they have an operating expense ratio, a total operating expense kind of percentage here of 0.99%, which is pretty much standard and pretty close to Tesla YieldMax, which is, it says 1.1, but I'm pretty sure it's about 0.99%. All the YieldMax ETFs are about 0.99%, unless you're looking at other funds like Alti and those funds there. So 0.99% is to be expected. Now, what the fund strategy will do is it's the exact same as TSLY, just going to the downside. The fund will cap its strategy and its potential gains. The underlying security shares decrease in value. Well, for this one, it's going to cap between 5 to 15% like the other one, and pretty much everything's the same, except for, of course, it's a synthetic short exposure. Pardon me, today I can't talk. And one thing that I do want to say, the only real difference is, okay, they're not writing calls, they're writing puts, of course, because they're going short. There's not really much to talk about in this. The one thing to keep in mind is that they do a synthetic covered put, which is different because the fund uses a put strategy rather than a traditional one. And that means that they don't own the underlying. They don't own any Tesla. Unlike, I'm pretty sure, FEPI, where FEPI owns the underlying, CRSH owns no Tesla. It is exactly the same as TSLY. And then when we go down further here, we can kind of see their expiration dates. Now you see expiration dates about 3 to 6 months, and then we have a 1 month or less expiration date on certain sold short put option contracts. Now, when we look at TSLY, we can see that TSLY is a 1 to 6 month ratio, 1 to 6 month, and then they have the same less 1 month or less expiration date. So it's fairly similar to TSLY, except here for this part where TSLY could go on a 1 month expiration date, we have crash that goes at a 3 month. And I'm not super certain, once again, on options because I'm not an options trader. I buy YieldMax funds because they generate huge dividends, and at the same time they also potentially go long and potentially go short for me. I don't have to write these option contracts. But one thing I do want to mention about an option is options expiration is a specific date and time where the options contract becomes invalid. So after the 6 month period, for example, this max expiration date, the option is either going to expire worthless or it's going to have money for YieldMax to potentially take out. Now, what I do want to say is that Tesla, of course, the best thing that would have happened for crash would have been if they released crash about a year ago when Tesla was really at the peak of their downtrend. You can see Tesla peaked at about $281. We're currently down almost 50%. You're looking at $170 currently. And if crash was available during this time, that would have really been fantastic for it, because we could see here in TSLY where over the past year, TSLY has been trending down. TSLY goes long on Tesla and crash goes short. We could see crash is currently up as TSLY has trended down over the past 5 days or so. And that's pretty much been, crash has been out for about a week or so. But you could see here that on the previous day, crash went up about 0.45%, whereas Tesla was up about, was down about 2%. This is going to be interesting to say because it's the total opposite of what Tesla's doing. And now we can see here that crash is up almost 5%. Maybe people are more concerned that Tesla is going to go even further down. Maybe some YieldMax investors are looking to invest into crash to kind of hedge their TSLY positions, and so maybe that's why it's up after hours. I'm not currently sure, because Tesla after hours is only up about, or only down about 0.56%. So crash, everything is really up in the air. They currently have no dividend yield. We're not sure what the dividend yield is going to be. It's all dependent on how Tesla performs over the next month and a bit, because crash is most likely not going to release a dividend this month. They're going to release a dividend next month in June. I had to count there. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what exactly crash does. It's most likely going to do the exact opposite of TSLY. So if you believe Tesla, the underlying stock of both of these, is going to go up, you buy TSLY. If you believe Tesla is going to go down, you buy crash. And you could definitely use crash as a hedge for TSLY. Will they have the exact same dividend yields? I don't think they will. I think crash and TSLY are always going to have different dividend yields, because Tesla is either going to go up more in some months or it's going to go down more in some months. And depending on how far down it goes, or depending on how far up TSLA trends, Tesla trends, is going to determine how high these dividend yields are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're currently up to 4,628 subscribers. Please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so. But this was just a video to kind of decipher what crash is compared to Tesla, how it sells put options and not call options. TSLY is call, crash is put, going to the downside. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out with Tesla, the underlying stock. And yeah, we're going to be in for the ride here, so I'll keep you guys posted on anything with crash. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it kind of brought some new sense, a new YieldMax ETF to your attention, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.